Where does the thing pop up? Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment you've been waiting for. It's the hair reveal. It's all gone, and my neck is cold, and this is the life that I'm living now. The world is chilly, and I get goosebumps often, and it almost feels like I should wear a hat or two sometimes, but, well, maybe not two. Maybe not two. Either way, yeah, so that's the first thing you might notice. Second thing is there's not actually much else to notice. We're here. It's the timetable. It's late in the evening. I just did the podcast with Milky and Wybold, who is dying, and Avi, formerly known as TBA Avenger, and Dachshund, who is our guest, which that's coming out soon. And with that we can launch into the first part of the video, which is what videos happened this past week and what's coming out and what can we expect. And what do we know? So, I had Madison in the last Under Construction. She's becoming a bit of a regular, but, should probably come out to like half and half, half with, half without. Depends on the day, depends if she's going to be around, but we're going to be moving in together soon, so her not being around would be a little bit unorthodox, maybe. But, she's got a weird work schedule compared to mine. Working retail will do that to you. But we did have an Under Construction where we talked about a few things, namely more Florida Man horoscopes. I totally forgot what we were doing, but some people were kind enough to post theirs. That was pretty fun, pretty funny. I could have done it differently, I'm realizing now. I could have set it up to be, you just post your birthday and we'll go get your horoscope and see what comes up, because that could have been also really funny for the show. It would have been an incentive to read the show, but of course I'm sure people want to look up their own stuff. We had a Zombie Train episode about CNO 614. There was a question kicking around, I believe, about the Ace 3000, but I'm not sure if I've actually gotten to that yet. Yeah. I can address that at some point. Somebody did leave a comment on that, but I haven't officially read it and responded to it yet. I usually read all my comments on Thursday, either right before, usually right before I record Under Construction, if I'm recording that day. So if you're wondering why it takes me a week to respond to your comment, that's why, typically. So with that aside, we've got Under Construction, we've got the Zombie Train. This is a little bit high, I think. Under Construction, Zombie Train. My head does feel colder, Dean. That was the first thing that I addressed. I get chills on the back of my neck. I was walking to the commuter rail station this morning, or actually it was this evening, and I walked outside of the office and went, oh, that's unpleasant. Because it was a chilly afternoon in Boston. But the terminus, like I mentioned, is on the way. It's I'm putting it together as we speak to send it out to all of you wonderful people. We have lots of derailments and not so much talking, because we've got one person who has to leave halfway through, and Wybold, who has to use text to speech because he is cursed with the RGS-20 virus and is going to die. So press F to pay respects to Brett Wybold. And, we'll have to have like a Viking funeral for him involving 20, because 20 is going to kill him, of course. So the other video that we did this past week was the Swordfish episode of War Chungus Wednesdays. That was really fun. We did 2 races at the end. It wasn't a very populous episode, and maybe we can scale those back to once every other week or something like that. The War Thunder kick is wearing off a little bit, and it's replaced with a Minecraft kick, which I'll get to later. But I do like War Thunder Wednesdays. Central Ohio Train says, no, Ellis got rid of his waves. I know. They'll be back, though. Give it a year. They'll be back. The advantage of getting a haircut once a year is that you can tell, like, it's sort of like the time of the year, War Thunder did put out their April Fool's Day, which is UFOs, which I haven't played. I'm not totally sure if I'm not super excited about the UFOs. I want my ships back, or my walkers back, but it is really cool. It's a really funny thing. You think they run out of unique ideas, but they haven't. They've always got something. They also put out a really cool satirical, what do you call it? Like a fake version update, including a number of things, including Britain getting its air and tank trees removed and getting Bodie McBoatface for the ship line. That's the one thing that stuck in my head. Yeah, so that's the videos for this week. You know, pretty normal complement of videos, and it's not even that absurdly late, although this is Monday. This is Monday. The podcast will probably be out sometime tomorrow, probably late tomorrow when I get home. And that takes us into our next section. So this week, I worked in Boston today. I'm going to be in Rhode Island for the next 3 days. I would have done Boston Monday, Tuesday, as I like to, but that presents a problem because I'm supposed to be at a company event tomorrow evening, which I could not get to in time if I went to Boston. Up in Lincoln, Rhode Island, I am being forced against my will to go bowling. The Duolingo bird has captured my family, and instead of learning Spanish, I am learning how to bowl. But what actually happened is I wasn't lying. No kidding, I wasn't lying about the haircut. This is it for me. This is my once a year. I go sit down in that hair school, and I get like most of the weight up here lopped off. My head is so much lighter now. The bag over there, that one right there, is stuff I got from the hair school. Not only did I get all that cut off for $5, I got 3 bottles of shampoo for $5 a piece. Special tea tree Paul Mitchell shampoo that I like very much because it has mint in it and makes my scalp tingly. So yeah, so I'm working in Boston Monday and Friday. Working in Rhode Island the 3 days in between. Don't have to go to Connecticut for anything. I do have to do some site work tomorrow, which is going to be fun. It's just going to be wandering around the airport, taking note of some things. And yeah, I mean, that's really it for this week. I'm doing some house stuff, but I'll get to that later. I don't have a report because I've been so busy with house stuff. I have no report on the Horsemen, unfortunately. I have no report on writing projects, unfortunately. It seems to be when I have inspiration to do writing, I don't have the map on hand, the Tolbrand map, and that's what I'm trying to, like, I've made a bunch of the map, and I have to write based off of it, and then I have to write and then base the map off of it, and I'm not doing those two things at the same time, which is a huge mistake, but you take creativity when you get it. You know, you can't, you don't want to squander it, you know? You don't want to say, ooh, I have this great idea for something, and then not do it, because then who knows when you'll have that idea again. You know, seize the moment, seize the day. But, you know, I am sitting on a couple of things for the Horsemen, and I intend to get some more work done on that shortly whenever I have the free time. But with the rest of my free time, I have spent quite a bit of time on the Minecraft server with Weibold and Graham and Dean and a couple of other people who chimed in, helping us level some area for an expansion to the Victorian Village, which is... it's a friggin' big deal. I didn't expect to spend that much time on the server or do that much on the server, which is why I didn't stream it. But if I do that again, you may see another Minecraft stream, which is not a SAR stream. We also have 2 other game modes, which we might test. The first one is The Great Race, now that I've set up the team system on the server, which, if you go into the basement of the Achilles Last Stand, into the hold, downstairs, there are 16 buttons, and you can select 16 colors. David Mitchell, I did get the video you sent. I have some thoughts on pro-revenge. I'm not one for revenge. I checked out the subreddit, and I was like, yeah, this is entertaining, but I'm not sure if I can really stomach it, to be honest. Maybe I'm just a wimp, but I don't like conflict that much. I would rather, you know, I like justice, but revenge is not necessarily justice. Anyway, that's you know, a huge matter of opinion and contention, something I could probably ramble about on Under Construction for hours on end, and I almost certainly have. But anyway, so downstairs in the Achilles Last Stand, which is a white ship with all the rules on it, you can press buttons and set your nameplate color and set your team, and the only reason that's important, other than having a cool color in your nameplate, because who doesn't want that, am I right? I have red because, you know, red. Only one of the team colors is wrong, and that's brown, because... let's see if I can explain this. So there are 16 colors in Minecraft. There are 16 colors of wool, 16 colors of stained clay, 16 colors of stained glass, 16 colors of concrete. There are 16 colors that are just set out from the beginning of the game. When they added wool, they added these 16 colors and 16 dyes and all that jazz. 2026 Production says, I've done it, I've caught the live stream. Congratulations, welcome aboard. We're talking about colors in Minecraft. So there are 16 colors. I made the teams these 16 colors. That's red, orange, yellow, pink, lime, green, cyan, light blue, blue. I actually wasn't counting. Brown is one of them. White, light gray, gray, black. That might be all of them. Purple and magenta are the other two, I think. And I might have missed one or two. But, so those are the 16 colors in Minecraft. When you make a team, you can set a team color, but the team colors, of which there are also 16, are not the same 16 colors. There are things like dark red, dark aqua, gold, what's another one that's weird? There's like green, or dark green, there's dark a bunch of things. There's like dark purple and regular purple. It's really kind of weird, the color selection. So I tried to match things up as best I could, and the one that has absolutely no analog is brown. There is no brown color. I did get those links, David Mitchell, about Newfoundland and Labrador, and then I forgot to read them. I did have them open, but I did not get the time to read them. I should remember to read them, because I am interested, because I did go on the Open Railway map and look at those railroads, and I didn't understand that they were so isolated. Anyway, I apologize for not paying attention to these links. A lot of the times I get bombarded by a lot of different things from different people. In fact, I have someone weird on Steam that I just added, because I add everyone on Steam, who only message to me is like, hey, and then in terrible spelling and grammar, send a 6-digit code. I didn't really respond. I deal with enough bots in my daily life. Anyway, to go back to the Minecraft server for 1 minute, we did have an incursion on the server. Somebody did come on, blow up the town, burn some things down, but we had just made a backup, so we reverted to it. We banned the guy. It's what happens. You get hooligans when you're on a public server. But for those who don't know, it is a public server. I don't have the IP on hand, but if you want it, somebody can probably post it. It's a survival server 1.13.2. We'll be updating to 1.14. Oh yeah, sorry. The other minigame. So we have SAR, we have the Great Race, where you get in a team and hit the Shipwreck Simulator, which is now an area of effect. It will teleport people in teams to the same location. So if everyone's on red team and you all stand next to the Shipwreck Simulator, which is on the top deck of the Achilles, and somebody presses the button, then you all get teleported to the same place 100,000 blocks away. So anyway, that's how the Shipwreck Sim works. It's useful for the Great Race, and it's also useful for, which the Great Race is you all teleport out and you race back. And it's also useful for Last Man Standing, or The Purge, or whatever we're calling it, which is basically a mini hardcore series where we all step in that button, we go out to the middle of nowhere, and the last man standing, you're not allowed to use beds. So when you die, you end up back at spawn. You know, mini hardcore series, that's what it is. Yeah, and the last man standing wins. Wins as in you're trapped out there with no way to get back. But, you know, you win, I guess. Maybe the SAR can decide to do one of these games instead of the regular SAR. I don't know. We're going to move the throne at some point. Anyway, that's the aside. We've done a lot of the Minecraft server. It's been a lot of work. It was like the whole day because we did not have enough people to make the podcast because of weird schedules. Evan Game says, "Hi, nice hair." Thank you. I like it. It's honestly the best haircut that I've gotten in a while. In the last couple of years, this is the best that has come out in recent memory, as a matter of fact. Because it's always somebody different. The residency program is The residency program is like 9 months, and since I go there once a year, I don't ever see the same person twice. Graham says we should have prizes for winning the games. I think the prize, other than being to decide the next game, which we can make it an extension of SAR, the prize, other than being the overseer in this case, is everything that everyone else had. When you are the SAR, you get to go through everything that everyone leaves behind, and you get all those goodies, which sometimes there's not a lot of stuff left, but sometimes there's plenty of good stuff left. Anyway, you also get bragging rights. Because bragging rights. If you want to go and set up a prize pool, I'd be down, but you need to actually get the stuff to put in the prize pool. So War Thunder has their April Fools. Rainbow Six also has an April Fools, which is, I haven't checked it out yet, but it looks hilarious. It looks awesome. And like I said last week, I really want to play more Rainbow Six. I'm not good at that game, but like, Evangeline has been around more. Wybold's been around a little bit more. Ogilius said he reinstalled the game the other day. That's like the whole squad for us. And yeah, we're bad at it, but at least we have fun. Milky adds 50 saddles to the pod. Yeah, we can get stuff from the fishing, from all of our fishing stuff. Anyway, yeah. So the final and most pertinent development in my life has to do with my background. As in a few short weeks, it'll be very, very different because I will be in a new house. I will be living with Madison, the love of my life, and what's the other thing? I will have finished all of this goddamn paperwork that I am saddled with, including getting insurance, getting the actual mortgage itself, getting the house inspected, moving all this goddamn furniture, figuring out what we want to keep and what we want to throw away, figuring out what we need to do to this house. Holy cow. Every time you think you have it all figured out, there are 5 other things that you are not thinking of when it comes to buying a house. It is amazing in the worst way. But I sincerely hope that it will all be worth it, and I expect it to be worth it because being a homeowner is awesome. I am not great at being a homeowner yet, but I haven't been a homeowner yet, so I have to learn a lot. Mostly how to cook things for myself, because I survive off of a healthy diet of mac and cheese and ham and cheese sandwiches. But recently, I learned how to fry an egg. So, I am moving up in the world. I don't know what else. So, yeah, that's my life. Make bargar. Yeah, we need a grill. That's something to have. Things to add on the new house, or things to do with the new house. Fix the sunroom to make it inhabitable. Replace or refinish the countertops. Get a hot tub. Finish fencing in the backyard. Keep the garage from falling over. And get a grill to make borgars. Or, what are they? Hamburgers. To make hamburgers. So, also need to get my other car back. Need to talk to my mechanic. I have good internet. If you want a wood countertop, I can... No, see, the thing with the countertops there is the countertops and the cabinets are very, very, very old. And howdy, KS1 Productions. And they have, what do you call it? It starts with an F. It's not like a solid material. It's not like they're granite countertops or anything like that. They've got... I don't know what it's called. I came up with it before. I remembered it earlier in the show. But it's a certain kind of like a paneling that's on the countertop. It's almost like linoleum countertops. And to replace those with something that's solid would mean basically tearing all the cabinets apart. And the cabinets, despite being very old, are very tough and they're in very good repair. No, it's not plastic laminate. It's not plastic laminate. It has a name. It starts with an F. I'll remember it tomorrow, and I'll be very upset with myself. I'll start a live stream for 2 seconds to say the word and then be done with it. No, it's not fiberglass. Anyway, it's not super important. It's not super important. The point is, it's not solid countertops, and it would be an utter bastard to replace the countertops themselves. And because Madison watches too much HGTV, and she wants to do this, that, and the other thing, and it is my job to temper her expectations as much as possible, but at the same time, I have very high aspirations to what to do, or for what to do with this house. Honestly, compared to the discussions that Madison and I have had on houses in the past, we're pretty happy with the way this house is, as is. The only major things that have to be worked on are the sunroom, which everyone agrees is a disaster, and the garage, which everyone also agrees is a disaster. And that garage is not something that I'm going to undertake on my own, because the garage door needs to be replaced, and if anyone knows anything about garage door springs, it's that they will kill you without a second thought. So I don't want to do that, but it does need work. One of the railroads, Newfoundland and Labrador, it's able to get freight from the main international rail system by railroad barges, I would assume. Yeah, cool. I would assume both of them get barges. Yeah, I can hook you with... No, I don't need more cabinets, and don't say anything like that around Madison, please. Graham, I know hot tubs are great. I have one. But the thing is, if this house gets moved out of, which might happen in the not-so-distant future, I'm going to try and get my hands on that hot tub, because they're probably going to move into... they're probably going to move into, like, a condo or something. One of our springs broke on the garage door, and both of the cars were stuck inside. Yeah, the garage door springs are serious business. Don't mess with garage door springs. They'll kill you. Only one of the railroads able to. I already checked in Google Maps. Well, that's disappointing. Although I suppose that's a long way to go with the barge. Anyway, I think that rounds it out for this week. I will talk to you guys again in a week with more news as we approach the date of house moving. Next week's might also be a little bit late as well, or I might be broadcasting from Wares Beach, New Hampshire. Going on a little vacation. It's Madison's birthday. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week. Oh, I need to hit this button twice. Train man out.